Okay, so in this video, we're going to look deeply into the poem, A Valediction Forbidding Mourning, just in case any of you did not understand anything that was explained by your peers during their presentations. First of all, let's look at, by the way, the file that I'm referring to is actually found in your Google Classroom under the title Literature. Let's look first of all at the title, A Valediction Forbidding Mourning. Valediction here means saying goodbye or saying farewell, okay? So when I'm going to say goodbye, mourning is forbidden. Forbidden means not accepted at all. Mourning means crying and screaming and so on. So when I'm saying goodbye, you're not allowed to scream and shout and so on. Of course, in a better way. He phrased the same meaning in a better way. Anyway, let's move closely to the poem and look intently at it. As virtuous men pass mildly away and whisper to their souls to go, while as some of their sad friends do say, the breath goes now and some say no. Now, as a first look, I can just say that if I look at the words, away, and then there is say, and then there is go, and then there is no. Okay, so the rhyme scheme is clearly A B A B. Okay, and then noise, move, joys, love. Okay, so again A B A B, C D C D, and so on. Okay, let's look at the meaning now. Okay, as virtuous men pass mildly away. So he started here with the word as, which means it is a comparison, it's a simile. Okay, so he's comparing something to virtuous men passing away, mildly away. Okay, virtuous means very religious, okay, very good men. Passing away means dying, okay. So they go, how do they die? Mildly, meaning peacefully. And whisper to their souls to go. While some of their sad friends do say, the sad friends are around them, okay, on their deathbed. The breath goes now and some say no, okay. So the peaceful men that he's comparing, that he's using them to compare, they usually pass very peacefully to an extent that even when their friends are around them, they do not know for sure if they have died or not, to this extent. Okay, they die peacefully to an extent that even their friends, they start to argue whether their breath has gone away or not. Okay, of course, the comparison here is made between the passing of the men and their parting. When I say their parting, it means the poet and his beloved or his wife's parting. Okay? Because I told you from the very beginning that he's saying goodbye. A valediction, it means goodbye. So he's saying goodbye to his wife, and he's telling her that we should say goodbye, okay, peacefully, just like a man who is passing away. So he is comparing their separation to the separation of the soul and the body. Okay, and he says that we should be very peaceful in our separation, just like a virtuous man dies and his soul leaves his body peacefully. Okay, let's move to the next stanza. So let us melt and make no noise, no tear floods nor sigh tempests move, 'twere profanation of our joys to tell the laity our love. Okay, he starts by saying, so let us melt. Okay, look at the word choice. He says melt, not break, because breaking makes noise, melting does not. Okay, he just compares them to something that is melting. Melting means expanding. So for example, just imagine something, a metal that is melting, okay? It expands, it moves away from, the particles move away from one another. However, they do not make noise. So again, he stresses on Mourning is forbidden. Okay, so make no noise. Don't make a fuss that I'm moving, that I'm traveling. No tear floods, nor sigh tempests move. Tears do not make floods. This is a hyperbole. Okay, nor sigh tempests move. Sigh is this is a sigh. Okay, so the sighs do not create tempests. Tempests يعني tempests are like storms in the sea. Okay, so do not make noise, because your tears are not going to make floods, and your sighs will not make tempests move. So in other words, don't be sad, don't cry, because it won't make any change. Of course, as I told you, no tear floods nor sigh tempests move is a hyperbole. Let's look at it were profanation of our joys to tell the laity of our love. It won't be good for us to go and tell the laity. The laity are the regular people about our love. Okay? Moving of the earth, in the third stanza, he says, moving of the earth brings harms and fears. When we are saying here moving of the earth, we means earthquakes. Okay? So yes, earthquakes brings harms and fears. Okay? Men reckon what it did and meant. Men reckon what it did and meant. So the many people start to look at it. They're fearful of it because of the harm that it has created and so on. But he here has a paradox. Okay, there is a difference between the moving of the earth and trepidation of the spheres. Trepidation of the spheres means the movement of the spheres. Spheres are planets in this case. Though greater far is innocent. So the movement of the spheres are way more important than the movement of the earth, because when planets move, they create day and night, they create the change of seasons, and they have way more drastic effects than earthquakes. However, we do not feel when the planets move. Okay, so he's telling her we should not be regular. We should not just cry and create a fuss like as if we are the earth. Okay, because when the earth moves, it creates any fear. La, we should be like the movement of the planets, and when we move, we should be silent. Okay, because regardless the fact that we have a greater effect than the movement of the earth. Dull sublunary lovers love, whose soul is sense, cannot admit absence because it doth move those things which eliminated it. He says here that the regular lovers, their soul is sense. Their love is all about senses. Meaning, if I do not see the one I love, if I do not touch the one I love, if I do not smell the smell of the one I love, I don't feel that I am with him. I don't feel the love to him. Okay, so he calls these lovers as dull sublunary lovers love, yani those who actually love physically. Okay, they cannot admit absence. They cannot be absent from one another. Because why? Because if they are apart from one another, they will not feel the love that they are feeling. So in other words, he's saying that we are two people who love spiritually rather than physically. So what we should do is we should not care for absence. We should not care for separation, because even if we do not feel one another, if we do not feel one another by our five senses, we are still going to love one another, and and our love is going to persist and stay. Okay, so the next stanza is, but we, by a love so much more refined. Of course, here he starts with but. So he is. It's a paradox again to say that he is not just like the sublunary lovers love. He does not have that kind of love that depends on senses. But we, by a love so much refined that ourselves know not what is. Our love is so much refined, it's so much deep that even we ourselves cannot comprehend it. We cannot really understand it. Enter assured of the mind, careless eyes, lips, and hands to miss. We do not care about the missing of the eyes and lips and hands. We do not care for the senses. What we care is for the mind, because we love each other spiritually rather than physically, just like here. So here they love each other physically, and here they love each other spiritually. Okay? Let's move to the next stanza. Our two souls, therefore, which are one. So he says, our two souls are one. Though I must go, endure not yet a breach, but an expansion. Our souls is one. It's one. It's not going to be broken. However, it's going to expand. Meaning, if this is going to expand, it becomes, for example, like this. Okay? So, I'm here, you're here, and our souls are expanding. Okay? Like what? He compares them to gold. Okay, a piece of gold does not break, but it actually expands when it is airy thinness beat. When it is beaten by a hammer, it does not break, but it expands. Okay, so he compares their souls to a piece of gold, and this piece of gold, whenever it is beaten by airy thin, it becomes very thin. However, it expands. You get it? So their souls are just like gold, a piece of gold. If they be two, they are two. So as stiff twin compasses say. So he says, if we are going to be considered as one, we are just like the gold that expands and do not breaks. However, if people want to consider us as two, okay, so yes, we are two, but we are two as what? As the stiff twin compasses are two, as the legs of the compass. Of course, this is the compass. The compass is a mathematical instrument. It draws a circle. In one leg of the compass there is a needle that sticks it to the paper, and in the other there is this pen, okay, or the pencil actually. Okay, so what he's saying is that if we're going to be considered as two, we are the 2 foot of a compass. We're connected together. Okay, thy soul, the fixed foot with the needle is your soul, and I'm going to be the other. Okay, and when I am moving, when the pencil is moving, the foot of the compass with the needle, it stays in its place. It does not move with it. And when I am moving, you do not make a show. You do not make noise. You do not change. You stay the way you are. You are the fixed foot. Okay? And then here he starts with this conceit, which is actually the metaphysical conceit, and he completes with it throughout a couple of other stanzas. Okay? So for example, when he says, and though it in the center sits, yet when the other far doth roam, it leans and hearkens after it, and grows erect as that comes home. He says that when this foot of the compass is going to move and make a circle, okay? 1 second. Okay, so he completes by saying, let's say that this is the pen, okay? Remember, and this is the needle. When this is going to move and it's going to make a circle, it's going to roam. Roam means move in a circle. Where is it? Roam means move in a circle. So when this pen moves and becomes a circle, this stays in its place. It does not move. Okay? And whenever this moves, of course, it leans. Yani if it is straight, if the foot of the compass is straight, let's say it's like this, when you want to draw a circle, you have to lean it. You have to lean, but it will not change its place. The needle will not change its place. You get it? It only leans, okay? In order to draw the circle correctly. it leans and hearkens after it and grows erect as that comes home. And when this wants to come home, okay, it grows erect. Erect is straight. So when you want to close the compass, for example, it's going to be like this. Okay, the 2 foot are going to be at one, and it's going to be like this, erect. Okay, meaning straight. Such wealth, though be to me, who must like the other foot obliquely run. Thy firmness makes my circle just, and makes me end where I began. Meaning that your firmness here, the firmness of the needle, you make my circle correct. Okay, you make my circle just. Okay, because if you move, the circle is not going to be a proper circle. And you make me end where I began. So for example, if the circle starts with here and I'm going to move all this way, I'm going to end by the same place. Get it? So yeah, this is what it means. Of course, we have metaphysical conceits. Metaphysical conceits are metaphors that they compare something physical to something very much profound, okay, or more than the physical. For example, the compass here is something that is physical. However, it is compared to separation and love and so on. There is also the spheres, the movement of the spheres and the earth. They're also taken from something physical. However, their own meaning is something beyond the physical. Okay. Yes, we have love as dull sublunary lovers love. Lovers love is an alliteration here. Okay, as we can see here that the poet has used many scientific things. So first of all, he used the movement of the earth and the spheres. This is something that is related to astronomy. He also used another science, which is the breaking of metals, and especially here it is gold. Okay, he said that the metals also melt, they do not break. So this is also one of them. And then he uses the compass. Okay, and all of these are things, or are things that show us one feature of the Reformation period of time, which England was passing through, which is characterized by the scientific discoveries and the advancement in knowledge, the advancement in education, and so on. So basically that's it. Of course, you have themes such as love and distance, and spiritual love versus physical love, which is actually found here, as I've explained. The love and distance is actually found throughout the poem, as every time he says that we're going to be apart, however, our love is going to stay the same. Basically, that's it.